So, okay, so we know what a friend is. We know what an acquaintance is. We know where we can go to meet new friends, obviously. And we know what we want in our friends, right? Everyone knows what they're expecting out of friendships. Yeah. So,
we go into friendships with expectations?
Not expectations, but yes, I go on my friendships with requirements. I'm going to require a certain level of respect from my friends. I'm going to require a certain amount of honesty from my friends, and I'm going to require a certain amount of understanding. Because
I like that you use required instead of expectation.
Yeah, right. Because for one, when you have to have boundaries, and that's what I mean by requirements. Those are my boundaries. Like, so if I'm going to befriend someone and I'm trusting you, I'm going to trust that you do certain things. I'm going to trust for you to show up as the person you say you are. You understand what I'm saying? Like, those are requirements. I require my friends to be honest. I require my friends to be truthful. I require my friends to be whole, because I'm super vulnerable. I'm super transparent, and my friends are my friends. When I go and I talk to them, I'm being myself. If I gotta hide who I am or shield things, is that really a friendship? So I do have requirements, because this is what I need to know that you're my friend. This is what I need from you for us to build. This is what I need from you for us to sustain something. You can't just say, oh, okay, this is my friend, we're going to go hang out, and we're just going on. So then I could do something that disrespect you and not know it because you don't talk or you don't say nothing.
I talk.
No, not you. Or you never gave no requirements. Like, oh, no, I don't tolerate that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could just pop up to your house, eat your food. You're going to be like, oh, no, girl, Like, no, we pay for groceries over here. Like, I don't mind cooking a meal for you, but you ain't about to be coming up in here and taking my turkeys and all of that. Like, it's different requirements. And I feel like that's needed in any healthy relationship. Relationships, friendships, relationships with your parents, siblings, everything. You need a certain level of requirements. You need a certain level of boundaries.
Yeah.
Period.
Is that the question?
I think, yeah, you bring up a good point with boundaries. I think a lot of times we run into scenarios where we've cross the boundary with someone, and then something happens between the friendship, and then it's hard to pull back from where that boundary was.
But why?
Before. I guess for many reasons. Maybe your work and family intertwine per se, and I don't know how to, but without directly, it's so hard to.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Boundaries for me is important. I feel like when you lay out your expectations or your requirements for a friendship or a relationship, or the same thing when you go into a job, even when you go into a job, right? The job title says you're required to do X, Y, and Z. But you also, as the employee, you want to know, well, what are the days off? Like, how are you as a supervisor? What's the pay, right? Because you need to know the situation that you're walking into. So for me as a person, I know myself as a friend, I'm super overprotective once I bring you into my circle, right? But if you don't know me offstanding, I'm going to come off as aggressive. But these are things that my friends know about me. So I expect that in my absence, if someone was to say this about me, my friends are going to know me enough to be able to have my back, to be able to speak up for me. So I feel like when you require expectations from someone, it's just easier to say, when someone doesn't do this, like, hey, remember when we talked about X, Y, and Z? Like, I didn't think that was kind of cool. And you can kind of go from there. It's saying, like, why can't you come back from it? I think it's hard when you don't have clear expectations of someone and someone does something, and then it's kind of hard, well, you never said that, and da-da-da-da-da-da, because you can't assume what's normal to you is not normal to everyone. So you cannot assume someone's moral values. You cannot assume someone's actions, reactions, or anything like that. And I feel like that's why it's important to have those conversations. Just because you're close with someone doesn't mean that you think the same. And so it's important to have that common ground.
You guys are killing me with this requirement and expectation stuff. Like,
not that, but when you go into a friendship, do you not? You expect your friends to show up. You expect them to be trustworthy.
I don't, though.
You don't?
What?
I'm not gonna say I don't, but it's like when I meet somebody, it's kind of like a relationship. They're gonna show you what they want to show you. It's like when I meet somebody or when I'm dating someone, I don't put in my mind like, yeah, she got to do this and do this and do this. It's like, because they might do this and do this and do this, it might be something else compared to what you're requiring, and it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So to me, it's like, when I meet somebody, it's kind of like, I let them pull it all on the table. Either we mesh or we don't. It's like, I don't expect them to, do this. If I have a party, you don't show up, I know you didn't show up, you're not my friend. I wasn't. It's not like I expect them to show up. I expect them to be there. I don't know. It's like if you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. But it's like,
I feel like if you
I
don't
don't know.
expect
To me,
things from
it seems
people,
like
You can't be let down. Right, and I get that.
But
no
that's
one
just
wants
a
to be-
defense mechanism.
Exactly, you're not
To
being
me, it's
vulnerable.
yeah, but it's like I don't know them too. It's like,
But this
it's
is not
different.
someone you don't know.
This
so
is
like,
a friend.
This is someone. So obviously,
I
when
thought
you
guys
grow
were
with a
speaking
friend,
on like when you meet somebody to
no,
grow to a
actual
friendship.
right? When you have a friend, right? Obviously, you've had conversations about things that you like or don't like, and in those conversations, you're kind of setting your expectations for one another. Because during a conversation, I'm telling you like, oh, I didn't like when this person did this. Now you know, right? I don't like that in my friend. So I would hope that you will understand that like I would not like you to then do the same thing. You know?
I get it, but it's still. I don't know. I just don't go in friendships with expectations.
I don't think it's
know.
necessarily.
I think like once I build more and I get to know
Yes.
you and we're closer, that's
I'm
different.
coming
but
from a
just the
place
regular,
of knowing already.
Yeah, but
like just the regular.
No,
I
yeah.
thought you guys were speaking on more of
No.
like when you meet people, the expectations you have for new friends.
No,
If I just met you 2 days ago, I have no expectations.
Right. I don't
You're a
even know.
stranger
Okay,
to
okay.
me.
Because that's why I'm
can have
like,
the
I
puppy.
don't get that. I'm kind of on the other side of things, but I get it. You guys are talking about friends you already have.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
friendships, like real friendships.
Gotcha.
I feel like for me, it has more to do with drawing a line of what I don't want, because people can bring things to a relationship that you never expected
Right.
that surprise you.
What I was
But if you
talking
have
about.
boundaries for yourself, like you can't, spread my secrets. Like you can't do X, Y, and Z. Like these are things that are like,
Elijah,
these
cut.
are
But
these
why
are where I set my
those
boundaries.
are things that you should. It's kind of like common sense. If you have a
but
friend,
common
you should
sense
know
is
not
not
to
so
tell
common.
Yeah, I know that, but it's like I don't
What's
know. If I
normal
meet a
to
friend,
you
I'm
isn't
not gonna
normal
say
to
don't tell my
everyone.
secrets. I kind of assume that my friends know not to tell my
No,
secrets.
but if they do that, that should be like that should be for you. That should be like, okay, I draw the line here. Like that's not okay with me. Like I feel
Right.
like you have to set like not what you expect, but the things that are not okay with you is more what I try to set, rather than like expecting all these great things out of people, because
Like-
they could meet it, they could exceed it, or they could not. But
Right.
if you know like where you want to draw the line with people and what's not okay for you, I feel like that's the most important thing.
I think you also have to ask yourself, what are you asking from that person?
I feel
And
like-
are they capable enough to meet your
Are they
standards?
capable to
Yeah,
meet those
exactly.
They can be
standards?
unreasonable.
I feel
That's
like
what's
it's like a
important.
learning. I feel like friendship is a learning experience.
Yeah,
Because when you go, like for instance, when Jair and I first met, like I didn't say, Jair, I don't like the color red. I don't eat pork. Like over time she learned it. Like we went to the restaurant together. We ate together.
You don't like the color.
No, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just speaking in general.
I was about to say I didn't know that.
I'm speaking in general. But like it's a learning experience. Like, like she learned over time, oh, Neff don't eat pork. She learned over time, oh, she like, I don't
Even
know,
about your
makeup.
wife.
Right. Like, like she learned over time. Like it's not something that we meet, oh girl, my favorite color is pink. I like this. I don't eat pork. I'm a vegetarian. I'm this, I'm that. Like it's not something that you just know. Like it's not like a relationship where, if like you're trying to build a relationship with somebody, usually you kind of ask those questions at the beginning. What's your favorite color? What you like to do? What's your favorite hobbies? Friendship is not like that. It's like usually like, oh girl, you want to go out to eat? Then we start talking, and then like it's like slowly but surely you just start to learn like how that person is. And then like they might say a story about, like for an example, like which I said earlier, she might say like her friend did something that she didn't like. So now I'm like, all right, mental note, sis don't like that. I won't do that. Or you know what, I might even have like a rebuttal, like, girl, well, what's the problem with her doing that? Like I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So now we kind of just learning each other's point of views.
So communication. That
Exactly.
we need
And I
that.
feel like we can have differences, because that's like saying like we can't have differences. This isn't a friendship is a relationship, but this ain't somebody I'm fucking every night. Let's be honest. Excuse my language. I don't know
But
if
even
we're
in a
cursing on this,
relationship, you can have differences.
right?
You don't have to
but
be the same.
there's all right. So in a relationship versus a friendship, we can't. Certain differences we can have in a friendship. I could be like, I don't want kids. Jair could be like, I want 10 kids. Your kids don't involve me.
That's
if I'm in a
You
relationship,
babysitting though.
I ain't.
Said
If
not
I'm in a
10,
relationship and
maybe
I'm
2
like,
at
I
a
don't want
time.
kids, and my wife is like, well, I want 10 kids, and I'm like, well, bitch, you ain't getting 10 out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a problem.
So
Yeah,
in a
it's
relationship
little
versus a
different.
friendship, it is a huge difference. Yes, similar, because a friendship is a relationship, but we're talking like a sexual relationship, a partnership, a bond, like a different level of a bond. Obviously, there is a difference. So I feel like with friendships, you can play with it a little bit. With relationships, there ain't much room to play.
You
If
don't
that
need
makes
to be
any
a perfect
sense.
match.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't.
Like we can be total opposite. Me and Shaggy ain't the same.
But
Me
you
and
can
Domination ain't the
appreciate
same.
each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like as long as you understand or share the same core beliefs,
I was
and
just
you
about to say
understand
that.
each other, like you're good.
I feel like your core
You don't
beliefs
have to
definitely
agree
have
on
to be in
everything.
line.
Yeah.
You can't have someone who's like, you know, my core beliefs is family, honesty, support, and then someone else's core belief
Is lying, alcoholic.
hate everybody.
Right.
It's just like
it's not gonna.
it's not gonna
match.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also too, with building friendships, reconnecting friendships, and maintaining friendships, you have to be open. You have to be willing to be transparent. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. It is so uncomfortable letting your friends know that you're uncomfortable. Me and Neff had
And
the conversation,
apologize.
and it like, but you have to be vulnerable. You have to be that transparent. You have to trust that person enough. Like, listen, this is how I feel. This is what's going on with me. This is how I feel about what's going on. Like, can we fix it? And then the next step will be, how do we fix it? How do we address it? We got to stop cutting people off because one thing happened. There's no way that you can build a foundation with someone if you cut them off when one thing happened. Like, allow your friends to mess up sometimes. You got to give people room to grow. That's just it.
But the person has to care enough about the friendship in itself to even want to consider working on it, right? Because I feel like the people who are just one and done, most likely you didn't see any value in that friendship to begin with, right? Because I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt, and if I call you my friend, or if I feel close enough to you that where I'm interested in building a friendship, I am going to give you benefit of the doubt. Like, what was this situation about? And then we can talk through it, and at the end, if it brings us closer, cool. If it doesn't, then that's fine. But like, at least I know I tried before just saying like I'm completely done, because I do think that's an issue that we have nowadays. It's just like that's it, and it's just like you have to just be more forgiving. Nobody's
But it's also
perfect.
sometimes because people don't know how to hold accountability for the things that they do themselves.
I also
Right.
feel like
Accountability.
So you gotta be able to hold yourself accountable and apologize to the person, and then also ask them how you can change it.
Yeah, how are they like really negatively affecting your life? Because if they are, that is not someone
Right.
I think that I should keep in my life. If they're negatively affecting me that badly, then why keep them? I think that regardless of friendship or however long I've known them,
and that's what I'm saying.
or
You have to see the
whatever,
value
you have
in
to
it.
know.
Because if it was already, causing you harm or stress or impacting your mental health in any capacity, of course, when something, you don't like happens, it's easier to just walk away rather than a situation you see value in and you're willing to fight for it and see it through.
So, like, where do you draw the line between, like, this is something I want to work on and fix versus, like, I'm cutting you off, like, this is toxic and not helpful to me? Like, where do you draw the line between we can
Based
fix
off
this
what you
versus,
said.
like, we can no longer, this isn't healthy for me? Like, how do you
Because you
guys
said
draw the
when your
line?
friends mess up, to give them chances. I was just about to ask the same thing. When
But-
is enough enough?
Not
Yeah.
chances.
I feel like it depends on the situation.
The
It
chance,
does.
right?
It
What is the situation? What did you give it another chance to? I'm not saying if she slept with your man, sis. No, leave her. That's not your friend.
Yeah.
But
Why
if
would you leave? That's a different conversation.
but if she,
No, they both getting left. Her and him.
but what I'm
Y'all both
saying,
gotta
but
go.
right,
I'm
but
out.
I'm just talking about like the friend's perspective right now. Like that you're not a friend. No. But it's small things, like you didn't show up to my son's birthday party, or like we got into an argument, I didn't like what you said to me, or I said something and I felt like you was judgmental. Because let's be honest, we all have our own opinion, and that's a part of being a little judgmental. Everybody have different lives, everybody have different experiences. So even though our friends say something, we may not say it out loud, but sometimes we be like, okay, no sis, like that's different. What I mean by saying them is the situations where I be saying like, okay, we need to give a second chance. Because one thing is, no one is who they're going to be forever. We are all constantly growing. So that's why I say you got to give your friends room to grow. Like, I don't expect my friends to be perfect. But when I look for friends, things that I'm looking for is people that I know that's going to show up for me. Like, I don't have a big support system. So the family that I'm making, the family that I'm choosing to be in my life, my friends, these are the people that I'm choosing. I need you guys to be able to support me, like, and I'm ecstatic to know that I'm starting this new journey, and all my friends decided to do this for free, to support me, and like
Next time it's gonna be $100 an hour.
Wait, for free? I don't know.